I saw someone say that switching your come fuck me shoes for fuck off slippers is immensely comforting, and I can't stop thinking about the accuracy.
I got divorced at 53 years old after an 18-year marriage. And there have been plenty of times post-divorce where I've kind of lamented the fact that I spent so many years in a bad marriage. Why didn't I get a divorce sooner? I wish I was younger when I got the divorce. Now I'm realizing that at 53 years old, this was the perfect time for me to have gotten a divorce. Because at 53, I am no longer the focus of male attention. And because I'm no longer the focus of male attention, I'm no longer seeking male validation. When I was a teenage girl and I started getting attention from boys and men, I kind of found myself on this hamster wheel of wanting attention because the attention made me feel good. It made me feel pretty. It made me feel smart. It made me feel confident in myself. It was just a very slippery slope from receiving attention to actively seeking male validation. What a man thought about me mattered, because eventually it was going to lead to a man choosing me to be his wife. And once I was chosen as a wife, I could relax. I could just finally be myself because I was going to have this man who loved me and accepted me for who I truly was. But once I got into an actual marriage, I found out I was still on that hamster wheel. I was still seeking attention from my husband, seeking his validation, seeking his time. It just never ended. Now that I'm divorced and I'm 53 years old and I'm no longer receiving the attention from men that I used to get, I feel like the world looks different. I feel like I can make decisions with a clear mind because the only person that I'm thinking about is myself. I'm not thinking about what a man wants from me, what a man needs from me. And that goes for like big decisions to like even small decisions about like what I wear or how I do my hair. I'm just doing everything for myself. And there's just a freedom in that. If I had gotten divorced earlier, even when I was like in my early 40s, I don't know if I would have been able to be in this space right now. I think I still might have been in the place of seeking male attention and male validation. I would have gotten myself into the same trap. So yeah, I'm grateful that it happened when it happened, because it happened at the time that was perfect for me. And now I get to live a life for me.
For years, many women were told that age wouldn't matter. The narrative pushed the idea that confidence, independence, and experience would only make them more attractive over time. The belief was simple: men would always be there, always interested, always chasing, regardless of how things changed. But reality doesn't follow narratives.
You know, when women our age, like our age, complain that they're not seen anymore? Like there was that model who's Gen X or Boomer, really famous model, married to a really famous musician. He had passed away. And she had this whole platform about how now that her looks had diminished, she wasn't seen anymore and how that was a big problem for her. I mean, why not enjoy the peace? If you're Gen X, it was the wild, wild west. Construction workers would yell at you. I used to get my ass grabbed at football games in the stadium, and on my way to work in downtown San Francisco, drug addicts would just yell anything that they wanted. It was so cringy. Like, just enjoy the peace, ladies. Enjoy the peace.
As time passes, many older women are starting to notice a shift they didn't expect. The attention that once felt automatic is no longer guaranteed. Conversations don't come as easily, approaches become rare, and the validation that once seemed endless starts to fade quietly into the background. And it's not loud. That's what makes it more unsettling.
Do I look invisible? I am. To many people. Maybe wearing gray doesn't help. I just kind of blend into the car upholstery. And somebody responded to one of the videos and had such a good point. Like, at this age, it's shocking that nobody looks at us anymore. Like nobody sees, how do I put this? Nobody sees our beauty, right? There is no beauty when you're this old in our society. And okay, I'll correct myself. Most people don't find that at this age we can look beautiful or feel beautiful. You know, we've got the jowls going on, the saggy boobs, the wrinkles, the frizzy grays, whatever. Which is worse? Is it being overlooked by others? Or is it worse that we look in the mirror and we don't see who we were and who we still are inside? Somewhere there should be an inkling, there should be a connection between the person I see in the mirror or in the phone and who I connect with. And I think when we get to this age, you know, one day we look in the mirror and it's like, I don't know who this is. And once you get to that spot, it's like this never-ending cycle. It's almost like the hole, you know, you're in this hole and you feel invisible, you see yourself, you don't recognize yourself. Other people don't seem to see you or see, better yet, see your value, see your beauty, see your humor, your compassion, see your soul, and we don't know who we are, right? I honestly think we can get to the point where we don't feel necessarily like we are blending into the background anymore. But I don't know how to get to the point where being overlooked by others or seeing that other people don't see our value or that we are invisible to them. I don't know how to get to that point where that doesn't bother me anymore, because it really, really does.
Men aren't openly rejecting or criticizing, they're just not engaging. They're not approaching, not pursuing, not investing attention the way they once did. It's a silent withdrawal, and that silence speaks louder than anything else.
So I've heard about feeling invisible. Like, you hear that a lot about women after postmenopause. They're feeling invisible, like they don't matter anymore, that they're like look right past. Well, this actually happened to me today. First time ever. Now I get it. I was with my daughter at a restaurant, and the waitress walks up, and she asked my daughter what she'd like to drink. She takes her order, and she walks away from the table. Like, seriously, she walked away from the table. I looked at my daughter like, oh, I was shocked. I really was. I mean, I'm 60. I don't care if you're 120. You're a person at the table. I still can't explain it. Has this happened to you? Let's share this. Have a great, it's Saturday, isn't it? Happy Saturday.
Meanwhile, many men have shifted their focus entirely. Instead of chasing validation or trying to impress, they're investing in themselves, their finances, their health, their peace. For a lot of men, the priority is no longer gaining attention, but maintaining control over their own lives.
You do become a little more invisible the older you get as a woman, unfortunately. I spent a lot of my time being hemmed up in vanity, and now that I really can't be, I'm the second half of my life, and now I don't care so much about what it looks like. But it's hard in this town. This is not a place where I have the opportunity. I don't get asked out on a lot of dates. I never get asked out on dates. I don't know if it's being 55 in Los Angeles or if it's just a strange town, you know.
What does that feel like?
It's a weird, counterintuitive feeling, because I actually feel more beautiful now than I have ever felt before. I feel like I've come into my face. I've come into my body. I've really come into my sense of style. So it's weird to not be seen as much.
This creates a harsh contrast. While men are building and moving forward, some older women feel like they're standing still, watching the dynamic change without understanding when it happened. The dating market they once knew no longer operates the same way.
I don't normally call anyone out on this app. I like to just kind of keep my side of the street clean. I like to mind my own business. But I saw something this morning that pissed me the fuck off. This is the clip. They shut their stitches off, so I wasn't able to stitch it. It offends me. in so many. If you are a middle-aged woman or an older woman, we're already the most invisible people out in the world. And I never really realized it until as I am going through the aging process and even being on here on TikTok, is that life is made for like the 25-year-old. This clip bothers me so much because I am so thrilled that older women are still getting together with their girlfriends and they're going out and having lunch and they're going to the mall and they're going to do things. What is wrong with older women going to do things with each other and maintain their friendships? It's so important. Keeps them young. My mother died of Alzheimer's in June, and her world was very small even before she got diagnosed. My sister and I used to say to her, Mom, why don't you join a group? Why don't you go and make some friends? And she, oh, no, I'm happy at home. I'm happy at home. And I swear to God, that had something to do with her Alzheimer's, because her world was already very small before she was diagnosed. And she didn't, want to take a class or go and join a bunch of her friends and go have lunch. Why? I don't understand why these two creators thought that, first of all, that they would film a group of older women having a nice lunch together and not bothering anybody, and then making fun of them as well, even though I think that they thought they were making fun of themselves. Like, oh, here we are, we're at the mall, we're at this restaurant, and there's all these older people around us, and somehow that makes us old or whatever. It did not come off that way. It's tough enough to grow older, but it's even worse on an app like this. Yeah, didn't pass the vibe check with me. Unfollowed.
The most difficult part is the realization itself. It's not something that happens overnight. It comes in small moments, fewer messages, less attention, quieter rooms. Slowly, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore.
You know what's really weird? When you get past like 30, 35, you're kind of invisible. No one asks you what you're wearing anymore or where you're going. No one really sees you. It's quite isolating, really. I just didn't expect to not be seen anymore, and I can only explain it like you step out the door. And when I was younger, I just felt like people would notice what I had on, what shoes I had. I don't know. Maybe it's just a physical thing. But I just feel like I'm just not seen anymore. Like I feel a bit more invisible the older I get. Just an observation.
To question the promises they were given. They were told that independence and time would increase their value, that attention would always be there when they wanted it. But now they're facing a different reality, one where attention has to be earned again, not assumed. And by the time that realization fully sets in, the environment has already changed.
Life is funny. Hear me out. You go from being Superwoman, where you're working, you're looking after the kids, you're getting them to all their activities, you have dinner on the table, clean house, you're go, go, go. And then you become the invisible woman when you hit 45 and no one even fucking notices you. You kind of go from one superhero to the next. But I kind of preferred Superwoman, because this one sucks. I could literally walk anywhere. Nobody even knows who the fuck I am anymore. The kids just kind of, yeah. I don't know. How do you find it? Did you go from Superwoman to invisible when you hit 45? I kind of just feel like I'm nobody anymore.
So I just had one of the most depressing things happen to me. I guess it's not that it's depressing, but as someone who's getting older and is going to be 50 in a couple of weeks, I literally just got back from the city. I had to lug my suitcase up and over the overpass, so up a million flights of stairs and down a million flights of stairs. And there must have been at least 20 men and boys of different ages just walk right by me, watching me, carrying this huge suitcase up and down the stairs. None of them even stopped. No one even gave me a second glance. And it's so hard getting old, because when I was young, men would have fallen all over to take my suitcase. I never had to lift my suitcase. I never had to put it up in the airport. I never had to do anything. Someone would always help me. And getting old, you become completely invisible. Like, it's like you're not even there. And it's really an adjustment, and sad that you just disappear as a woman to men. They don't care. They're not going to help you. Nobody even notices you if you're not a certain age. So anyway, it's depressing.
Men aren't reacting the way they used to. They're not competing for attention, not overextending themselves, not playing the same roles. Many of them have simply stepped back and chosen a different path, one that doesn't revolve around constant validation.
Yesterday I posted about how women, as they age, start to feel a little invisible because the world treats us differently. And boy, oh boy, did I get a ton of response. First of all, I want to say shout out to all my older women sisters who are on TikTok, because that is a way to have a voice for the world. We are so wise and so experienced at this point. We have so much to say and so much to share. And the overarching theme of all of the comments that I got was a lot of people went, you know what? The best thing about being so-called invisible is nobody's watching anymore. And I can do whatever the hell I want. That is the secret to life. We get to the stage of life where we've been trying to please everybody for all of these years and do what everybody wanted and needed and expected us to do. And now we can be just for us. We can take risks. We can have fun. We can explore new passions. We can figure out who we haven't yet been that we've always desired to be. This is why aging as a woman can be freaking awesome. So go for it.
Ladies, talking to you. Over 45, feel invisible, ignored, kicked to the curb. Happens a lot, doesn't it? Happens to me too. I might just have something that can help there. I'm Una Cottrell of 45 Not Out, and I'm working in collaboration with Sarah White, Branding and Photography. We're offering a webinar that will give women the tools they need to get past these obstacles, give them tips and solutions and empower them so that they can be seen and heard and not apologise for it. So, how'd you find the details? If you go to my link tree, which is a company which will be on the bio with my profile, there'll be the top button there that will take you straight to the booking page. The webinar's on Tuesday the 29th of November at 8 p.m. and it's for an hour long. If you click on the link that's there, that'll tell you more about it. So really, what are you waiting for, ladies? Let's get in there and take over the world. See ya.
The result is a quiet but noticeable shift. The attention economy that once favored women heavily is balancing out, and for some, that balance feels like invisibility. Because the hardest truth isn't loud rejection. It's being quietly overlooked.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.